All right. This week's opponent, we got Florida State, back at home after a month on the road. It's always good when you come back on the road and you play a team like Florida State because you can keep the guys' attention. And this game is going to be a physical, tough game. When you watching Florida State on film, the same Florida State, they want to run the football and, try to get the quarterback to throw about between 25 and 28 times a game where they can control the game. They're very physical up front because the offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, been playing together for about the last 3 years. Like anything, was building a program back up, recruiting guys, and Coach Trickett, the offensive line coach, do a wonderful job. They run a lot of zone plays. Remind me a lot of West Virginia when when Coach Trickett was at West Virginia. So you'll see a lot of things like the Denver Broncos try to reach everybody, try to cut the guys on the backside, try to hit them low. And we got to work on it in practice. We got to continue our defensive line, getting off blocks, playing the cut blocks, getting upfield, and trying to create havoc. Ponder does a nice job at quarterback of organizing and trying to do the things what's called of him to do. They do a nice job in the passing game, trying to stretch the field all the time, much as they can. They got 3 running backs that they use all the time. I think all three of them are averaging about between 65 and 70 yards per game, which giving them their rushing yards. They're keeping guys fresh. And I think anytime you keep guys fresh on a football team, that you can wear guys down in the fourth quarter. And, they've done a nice job of that. Defensively, Coach Stoops, a guy I've worked with here and is a friend of mine, has done a great job at Florida State. They're young on defense. They line up and play 2 different fronts. They play the coverage, and they master them. And they know how to make the adjustments out of them. They know how to make the corrections. And when you have a team that can do that on defense, and that gives you a little bit of problems. They're very athletic up front. Leading the country is in sacks, and that's going to be a big challenge for us on our offensive front to control those things. And it's going to be a tough game when we play Saturday night. Special teams-wise, got a great return to Reed. Exciting guy, small guy, but he's very exciting, very fast, energetic. We got to do a great job with our Flyers and our punt team of covering the field. And we got to do a great job with our kickoff team of getting down the field. And I think we've challenged our guys throughout most of the season, but this is going to be one of the biggest challenges that we have on special teams of trying to control Reed at what he's doing and things like that. We're excited about it, but we got to go into this game like it's an away game. Anytime that you play Florida State at home, there's going to be a lot of Florida State fans here. There's going to be a lot of the University of Miami fans here. But we have to have the mentality that it's a road game from the standpoint of how we got to go out and have that demeanor of what we've been doing, of playing hard, starting fast, staying focused, and don't look for any support. But you're going to get a lot of support at home, and I think the one thing we can't fall in the trap of is because you're home, everything's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, so we got to go in the game making things tough like it's a road game. Questions?
The Stoops run the same defense you guys run here?
No. Totally different.
Special teams, how do you balance aggressiveness with give them a chance to catch the ball?
You know what? It was like I said, I blame that on me, because that's the first time we went through. We never had this happen before. Streeter was our 5th flyer. You never run through 5 flyers in the game, but he was our 5th one. And the first one, is one of those rules. You have a fair catch and the ball popped out his hand, out of McDaniel's hand and went in the Streeter hand. Well, the rule says if he fair catches it, the only time you can recover the football if it hit the ground. Well, the ball pops up in your hands, yard and a half, 2 yards away. You're not going to, throw it on the ground. I mean, it was just normal reaction. The other one, he got to see the guy, getting a fair catch. So we worked on it today in practice a lot. We put him in those situations. And so now he understands it and everything else.
What about they call the penalty when they review it? I've never seen that before.
You're going to get me in trouble, George. but it was the rule says that if a guy fair catches the football, and, you're standing there, if I fair catch the football and it pops out of my hand, okay, and the guy standing in front of me catches it, it's still the offensive football. It's a flag. The ball has to hit the ground before he able to, the other team can, So I don't know. I don't judge it. I don't try to get myself in trouble. No flag, no anything. The ruling was on the field was that he didn't fair catch it. The box said he did. So then if the box said he fair catch it, then now flag procedure. So, part of it, instant replay. A lot of things was a big game like that. You had a lot of instant replay, so it was different.
Differences in adjustments
Just playing better as a defense, playing better as an offense. You know, they've honed in on some running plays, but they doing a great job of. They honed in some defensive stuff that they're doing, and guys are really sound. You know, that's the one thing that you can line up in all the kind of different formations and everything else, but the run play is going to be the run plays. On defense, you can line up on offensively and do a lot of different things, but they're going to line up and you're going to see these two fronts, and you're going to see these coverages, and they're going to line up and play. So, which is good, you know, but you know that you got to out-execute them now, and that's what it's got to be in this type of game.
Randy, a third of the way into the season, there's a lot of talk about how well the defense has been playing. Is this defense finally playing at the level that you had expected, or
No.
Get even better?
We get better. We had too many busts in this game against Clemson. Too many. The big long run was a huge bust, and anytime you have busts, things happen bad. So, like anything, I tell the guys we got to work to get better. You know, we had a lot of turnovers. You guys did a great job in the second half of shutting down the run game and playing hard and keeping us in the game, of responding to a tough time, and when offense wasn't moving the football. But it's still like, you know, because I'm a defensive guy, I think that we can improve a lot. We can improve our run defense. We can improve on getting to the quarterback a lot more. I know we had some hits on the quarterback and got some sacks, but like anything, the more that you can create more havoc on defense, the better opportunities and field position that you'll be able to get on offense, for the offense to go.
How did they do the tackling, Randy? They were so good at Pitt. Did they keep it up?
Yes, they did. They did. They kept it up. You know, it tells about, you know, the two plays that Brandon Harris made. So that shows you that we're still stressing, and this game's going to be even, you know, stressed even more. Because, you know, like anything, you come home, you get excited, and then now you want to have big hits instead of playing the game like you're supposed to. And I think that's what we have to keep staying focused on. You know what? I really don't even think about it, because I've been knowing Jimbo a long time, and we've been through, you know, media day and head coaches meeting and stuff like that. So you got, you know, you go on and you move on from it. So it's kind of like, you know, you move on now. That's part of it. So.
It seemed like the calming down things they asked Ponder to do, not asking him to have to win every game with a lot of passes.
Well, you know, because, you know, you look at their team, the strength of their team is their offensive line. If you look at, I think they're the most experienced guys on the offense, probably in the whole entire team. And when you got to depend on those guys to, you know, you can say block and have your quarterback throw it, but, you know, they've lost a lot of receivers. They still got some great receivers there, but, you know, offensive line in the run game is something that can carry you because they know everything that needs to be get done. And I think that's what they now relying on. And if they can run the football, they feel like, you know, eventually we'll be able to throw the football 20, 25 times a game and be successful. And that's what they've come to.
They're probably going to say every game is just as important, but if you can get through this 4-game stretch 3-1, you think everyone's kind of looking, you know, excited about that possibility, and, you know.
No, not with this team. Team kind of different. You know, we disappointed sometimes in the way we perform on the football field. I know offensively they disappointed, and because of what we did in the second half, what we need to get done. But on the positive, I think the last 8 minutes of the game, the offense showed what we can do when we need to keep, you know, knock time off the clock. So every time we come off a football field, you know, we're happy that we won a game, excited about it. But like anything, we want to get better each week, and we got some things that we need to get better on. And I think we'll continue to do those things.
You see any one of those? I mean, I know outside of Leonard Hankerson.
No. You know, everybody always, you know, you guys hyping on Leonard Hankerson and this and that. I mean, if you go look back, a lot of guys have caught footballs on his football team, not just Hankerson. You know, Hankerson had the big plays because, you know, he'd been getting a one-on-one. You know, in the game against Clemson, believe it or not, Richard Gordon was triple team. Nobody expected it. I didn't expect it, but their job was to take, you know, Richard Gordon out of the game. And all of a sudden, it was one-on-one. You got Mike James on the linebacker, we get a touchdown on it. We get Hankerson one-on-one, we get a touchdown on it. So, you know, it's not what people are trying to, you know, saying that this or that guy. It's like anything. The week we played Pitt, Hank was null and void. It was LaRon, Bird, and Travis. So I say this all the time, and I continue to say it. I cannot tell you each week who's going to show up. It just depends on what people are trying to do to us on defense, you know, attacking us on offense with their defensive scheme. And we just got to take advantage of who's doing what. And it may be one week, it may not be Hank. It may be, like you said, this week it was Hank and the running backs doing a good job. So each week is going to change. So I can't tell you who's going to get what.
I mean, I guess there have been a couple drops. You talked about some of the receivers.
It's not just the receivers now. It's everybody. Running backs had drops last game. Tight ends had drops. So it's not just one guy or one position. So when I say drops as an offense. We need to get better catching the football as an offense.
Teams had a couple of crazy shootouts last few times. Is it more sensible to expect better defensive play this time?
I don't know. In these type of games, both teams can be 0-10, and you may get a high-scoring game. It may be a last-second field goal game. You throw everything out the window when you're playing Florida State. It's just two teams that's going to go out there and play hard, and both teams going to get after each other. And it's a respect factor. You know, it's a rivalry, but we respect them and they respect us, and we play that way.
Ponder had a big, key several key runs 2 years ago there, and he's still rushing the ball very well. Can you tell me his rushing style compared to some of the other quarterbacks?
It's design run plays, speed option, quarterback, power, block down, kick out, have somebody lead in front of him. Trying to get him into, thinking you pass and get you 3rd down and 8, thinking it's a pass, and they run the football and things like that, just trying to get you. And I think that when they do those type of things, you got to be prepared for and understanding what they're trying to get done. And we got to, prepare for those things because we had it happen to us in Ohio State, and I think our guys learned from that, and we got to get better this week at it. No, you got to get guys' mindset. That, yes, 3rd down and 8, and everybody want to think pass, but, you got to play both. You just can't just run out of there.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I think the visiting team has won this game the last 4 games, 3 games, something like that. Is that a strange kind of thing? Or?
I don't know. Last week we played them guys all overtime 3 games, so
Right.
I can't tell you what's going to happen in games, And but it'll be a game that you watch. It's the reason why TV's put it on prime time. Because they see 2 teams that are fairly well even, and it's a state game, and it's old time tradition. Somebody over had this question.
How's Jacory's left shoulder, and do you expect him to
Found out Saturday. What else? No, might need to, huh? We did it 1 year when I was a player. Was on the road a lot. I think we went Michigan, Notre Dame, and somebody else. When I was a player, we did something like that on the road a lot. It's TV. TV plays a lot in what scheduling are these days. And then conference games on who's got this opponent, who's got a game already penciled in, because some games will never get penciled out. So you just have to always, whatever TV wants and how games, out-of-conference games, bless you, how out-of-conference games are, that's how it is.
Any preference between a noon game and an 8 p.m. game?
Nah. We're already up at noon, so I'm kind of happy about that when you play at noon. And then at 8 o'clock, you sleep in and get a little bit more rest. So. All right. Thank you. Take care.